All right, folks, now that we've read our Native American narratives, we can get into our Native American Lit project. So let's go through these directions now. It reads, now that we have read each of the Native American narratives, we can see a common theme in these works, a reverence for nature. Don't forget, so the common theme is a reverence for nature. Reverence just means, whoa. Reverence just means respect. Okay. Your job is to study your assigned story. Now, you can actually pick, all right, from the Navajo creation account, the Osage creation myth, Coyote and the Earth Monster, Prayer to the Pacific, or Song of the Skylum, right? Pick whichever one of those 5 you want. And you are going to create a visual representation of the work based on the imagery in the text. This is the key. It's not just how you imagine it, it's based on the imagery used in the text. All right, I'm even going to do it in a different color so that you can see. And I'll show you in the example what that looks like. In addition, you will have to create a Google Slides presentation in which you identify what type of narrative you have, is it a myth, a trickster tale, or a song, how you know. You're going to present pertinent background information. For this, you might have to do a little bit of research. We all know how to Google things, right? Research about the tribe from which your work is originated, right? How does the history or the culture of that people make sense in the context of your chosen narrative? As well as identify examples of imagery and other literary devices to explain how they express a reverence for nature. Okay? So, this is 35 points altogether. Your visual representation needs to be neatly done, colorful, and visually interesting. It should fill the page. That's 5 points. It should depict an accurate visual based on the story of the language in the text. Again, based on the language in the text. Your presentation itself correctly identifies a type of narrative with a logical explanation. There's accurate and relevant background information. You have at least 3 examples of imagery plus an additional literary device and a logical connection to the theme. The theme, again, is a reverence for nature. That's the theme for everybody. Okay? And then you meet all the requirements. Everybody's going to get these 2.5 points for this because we're not presenting them live. So whatever you write in the slide should make sense. So as long as all of your information is correct, you'll get those 2.5 points. So let's go ahead and look at an example. So if you see Iroquois Constitution, this is what I'm doing. It's a legend, all right? So I've correctly identified the type of narrative. A legendary hero. The Iroquois Constitution is credited to Conowita, a legendary hero. The reason this work is considered a legend is because a legend is regarded as historical but does not have any evidence of authentication. So while the Iroquois Constitution is very real, its creator might not have been just one man. So, this right here is my explanation as to why I know it's a legend. Got that. Background information. The Iroquois Constitution dates from the 15th or 16th century. It joined several peoples who lived on the shores of the Great Lakes into the Iroquois League or the Iroquois Confederacy. Initially, the Iroquois League included the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca. In the 1700s, the Tuscarora joined the Confederacy, making it the League of the Six Nations. So all this information, I didn't know this. I researched it. Okay? You should do the same. You don't need to put any kind of citation just yet. We haven't gotten to that yet. So just give me the information. Now this is my visual representation. So remember, we need at least 3 examples of visual imagery. So I chose a few more than 3. So I said, I named the tree of the great long leaves. Under the shade of this tree, the great peace will spread the soft white feathery down of the globe thistle. And that's what I have right here. Roots have spread out from the tree of the great peace. One to the north, one to the east, one to the south, and one to the west. Their nature is peace and strength. 2, 3, 4. Directly out of the text. We place atop the tree of the long leaves an eagle who is able to see far. If he sees into the distance any evil approaching, he will at once warn the people of the Confederacy. Here's the eagle, right here. The smoke of the Confederate Council shall ever ascend in peace and pierce the skies so that other nations who may be allies may see the council fire of the great peace. Here's the council fire of the great peace. When a candidate lord is to be installed, he shall furnish 4 strings of shells, bound together at one end. Here are the shells. We do crown you with the sacred emblem of the deer antlers. Here they are. All right, so you'll see I took the language directly out of the text, and I drew what they were describing. That's what you need to do. Okay? You could do this in any medium you want. All right? You want to draw it with pencils and colored pencils or whatever, fine. You want to do a computer-generated one, fine, as long as I can directly connect what you're presenting to the imagery in the text. This is symbolism. This is my additional literary device. A major symbol in the story is the tree of the great peace. Its roots spread out in all directions, representing the peace of the nation spreading to all parts of the land. This is my explanation of the symbol. The tree rises up tall into the sky, spreading strength of the tribes found in their unity. Atop the tree is an eagle, representing the protection and security of the great peace brought to the Iroquois League. So you can see I explain the symbol. And finally, how does this tell us a reverence for nature? Almost every aspect of this piece reflects a reverence for nature. The Iroquois League chose a tree to symbolize their peace, demonstrating a reverence for their strength and longevity of the tree. Atop the tree is an eagle, another creature of nature known for its keen eyesight and fierce demeanor. Additionally, those joining the league were crowned with deer's antlers, honoring the majesty and strength of the deer, while also recognizing its gentle nature. So, I identified a number of instances throughout the text that communicate that reverence for nature. You'll notice it's all complete sentences, proper spelling, grammar, and punctuation. That is what you need to be doing as well. If you have any questions, please let me know.